During active shooter situations just like that, the main goal is to save lives. It's a simple concept, but a complicated process.
And it is one that Lucas County officials have been preparing for 6 months just this year. NBC 24's Jay Hanna is live at the Toledo Hospital for us tonight with more on that location and how it's making sure that it is ready for the worst. Jay.
Ryan, ProMedica's Toledo Hospital takes in what mass casualty situations have happened recently, like today's Wisconsin shooting, and changes its training each time based on possible scenarios. From the scene,
RTF-1 to command, we are working with a mass casualty incident.
From the transport to the hospital. Mass casualty incidents could happen at any time, so it's important to be prepared.
We know that they could happen to us locally just as you see them happening nationally.
Lucas County is currently working on adding to its preparation for such incidents. In the future, the county can go into Mass Casualty Incident 1 or Mass Casualty Incident 2. If there are 6 to 15 transportable victims, MCI 1 will go into effect. Any more than 15, it's MCI 2. This is when the communication is key. Several first responders worked on just that, a mock active shooting drill at Toledo Early College.
And this is more realistic to how it would happen in the real world. You would have this multi-agency response. So it's definitely one of the highlights of the drill.
It practiced the department's Rescue Task Force training. This allows EMTs and paramedics to enter during an active threat situation instead of waiting for the threat to be stopped and hopefully saving more lives. They go into warm zones and label the victims with a colored bandana. The severity of injuries run from red to green, and if the person has a black ribbon tied, they are unfortunately already dead.
Therefore, we have what's called 32 can do. It's a very quick pneumatic that we use as a matrix to determine how severely injured they are. We ribbon them. That information is relayed back to command. Command sends in extrication teams to try to get those out as quickly as possible.
Once the ambulances arrive, it's time for hospitals to get prepared to receive as many victims as possible. For example, Medical Director of the Emergency Department at Toledo Hospital, Dr. Brian Kaminsky, recalled the Lons Winery terrace collapse in July of 2000. It led to 1 death and 75 injuries. Even though it was in Put-in-Bay, Toledo Hospital took in patients more than 50 miles away.
We actually enacted our emergency response in that scenario and received victims from that accident.
Toledo Hospital's patient intake can vary, though, based on the situation. If there is a number of contaminated patients, a lot will be done outside of their doors to keep other patients inside from harm. In a weather-affected travesty, the hospital can be more prepared because of forecasts and knowing more in advance. Those involved will be trained in numerous situations. ProMedica tries to change the mass casualty event training each year to cover numerous possibilities.
We tend to switch them up so that people get to experience different things in the drill setting and be able to confront different clinical scenarios.
In reality, nobody can predict the severity or timing of mass casualty situations, but when they do occur, training kicks in and lives are saved. The mass casualty training you saw in the video is actually the first of its kind in Lucas County, but departments say that they are planning on adding to it and doing more in the future. Live here in Toledo, Jay Hanna, NBC 24 News.